Hey, good evening, traders. This is Dana. We're going to go over really quickly the Top Gun Trading Trader Success Calculator. I have a PDF document that goes with this, explains the importance of it and why it's important and different ways that you can use that. But I just wanted to do a quick video to show you the settings and the different inputs that you can have. But the document that goes along with it is pretty important. And the reason is because I'm trying to drive home the critical nature of the fact that you don't have to trade minis. You can achieve all your whatever your goals are, unless you have some really huge goals. And even then, you can scale up with this. But we're looking at micros because micros allow us to trade properly with the proper amount of risk and without having the stress that we impart on ourselves when we're trading minis and seeing numbers like $400 or $500, go against us, and knowing that it could quickly become, $1,000 or $1,200 loser and just blow out our accounts. So, we're shifting over to the micro approach because it works and it allows us to do proper risk management. Okay. So in this case, anything with a blue field is an input. Everything else can't be clicked because it has a value already in it, or it's calculated automatically. Okay. So in this case, it's the MES. I did notice over here I put MNQ, but it's an MES. I just didn't change that field. I'll try to do it before I send it out, but it doesn't change the video. So in this case, what you want to do is this is all based on daily activity. Okay. It's all based on what you might do in a daily activity. And if you're a ninja trader person, then and most of the other platforms have this too, but you can go in and take a look at your actual trades and see things like maximum favorable excursion, which is how much a trade goes in your favor before you close it. And the same thing with a max adverse, MAE, max adverse excursion, which is how much it goes against you before you close it out. So looking at those kind of things, that helps you come up with your ATMs and things, because sometimes we get caught up and going, when it goes 8 points in my favor, then I go to break even, then it goes to 12, and then I start trailing it by 4 points and all that kind of stuff. And the more cuts, as they call it, when you're programming trading systems and stuff, the more cuts you put in, the more likely you are to complicate it and screw it up, and the more less likely it is to actually be able to replicate it in real time. That's one of the problems with all these bots and stuff. Don't get me started on that. So take a sip of water. So, but by looking at that, like if you look at that and say like, geez, almost all my NASDAQ trades go 11 points before they even pull back, or something, or the most of the losers or the stops don't ever really go below like 8 points. So that would tell you like, okay, maybe you started at 10, you could actually almost do, hey, if they almost all go to 11, I'm going to do a 9-point all in and all out. And when it gets to like, 7 or something, then pull your stop in by half. And then other than that, don't mess with it. There's something to be said for all in, all out if you have really good signals, like on ours, on the trades and the setups that I show you using our software. There's certain ones in there that if you just wait for those setups, it's around 80, low 80s. Okay. Why don't we do them in the room, but we look at other things, and because you have to be patient to wait for those. But there's definitely, probably a handful, like 5 in each market during the day. So, that's one thing that, I can show it to you, but when you're trading on your own. So if you just waited for those, the win ratio is so high, you could pretty much do like, let's say it's a NASDAQ, you could do 10 points in, all out with a 10-point risk or something. So you need to play with these numbers, but let's just use something really conservative and say like in a day, you do 7 trades in the morning, 4 wins, 3 losses, that's 57%. That's nothing fantastic. Let's just say that's kind of what you do as an average. That gives you a 1.33 R ratio, okay? Let's say you're trading 3 micros, that's it. Okay, again, this is MES. And the commissions are already in. We're trading one account. Then let's say not even that great. Let's see, you're making five points or 20 ticks on your winners and four points or 16 points on your losers, and you're only winning 57% of the chance time. You got to admit that's not that great. So with one contract and one account, I mean, sorry, 3 contracts, one account, that gives you $91 a day after commission. Okay. And that's $450 for the week and $1,800 in the month, or $21,000 for the year. Not that exciting, but that's not great trading. But this is the power of it. Let's say you work up to 5 accounts, and this is the best you could ever muster is trading this just a little bit better than break even. Well, 5 accounts, now you're at $100,000, and I put 235 trading days in. There's 252 trading days in a year, so that's 17 days less. I gave everyone 3 weeks off. I'm a nice guy. So there's five accounts. So now you're getting $458 a day after commissions, $2,300 a week, and $10,000 almost a month. And you can see as you grow this account, and you're doing it with low risk. Now you're at 10. Now you're at 18,000 a month. You're at 215,000 for the year. Still doing not that great of trading. All right. You're getting 4 wins, 3 losses, and you're barely doing better on the winners than you are on the losers. And we'll just jump ahead to 20. All right, there's $430,000 trading like not even that great. Okay. Now let's say like you maxed out 20 accounts. Well, if you just added, instead of doing a 3 lot of micros, you did a 4, just putting one more contract in there. Let's see what that does. 4. You just bumped it up $140,000. It's pretty incredible. I mean, this is why it's so important to understand there's no need to swing for the fences or to take, silly, to rush trades either. Either, be super selective, have a good setups, which we do, and the math will take care of itself. And that's what you need to understand here. And once you slowly build up, let's say you were at 5, it takes you, I have a couple of methods that almost guaranteed to get you past in one day. And that's what I do just to get into the PA so I can get money out of them. But so you can get these past, pretty quickly. But even at 5, it's $140,000 a year. Okay. And 7 trades, you can probably get in. I mean, that's 7. Probably that's just an average morning, right? But let's say you think you only do 5. And you do 3 and 2, or I can't do like 1.5. So let's say kind of hard to do 5 trades, 60% still doing the same ratio, right? Even if you're 60%, you can actually do the same amount. Your winners are 5 points, your losers are 5 points. You're at 60%. So you're barely, better than 50-50. Yet that's $85,000 on 5 accounts. You slowly build that up to 20, it's 343,000. So I'm not going to beat a dead horse here, but you play with it, look at your numbers. And this is why it's so important, the discipline, and it's all in the document, the discipline, the execution of plan, your trade plan, and then just consistency. And that comes from following your plan and being patient. Okay. So that's this particular one. Those are the inputs you can do there. The NASDAQ's the same. And the only thing different on this one is it's custom. So if you want to trade full contracts of any market, you want to trade crude or gold or something like that, you can set this for however you want. It's still daily. You can click in here just so you know what sheet it is, and then you can save it however you want. But you just can go in here and say, I want to trade gold. And you just type in, this, oops, hold on. Cat fingered that. GC. And now it says GC. So if you were to save this, that's what it is. The only thing you have to do in here is put in the market tick value. So gold is $10 a tick, and so wasn't crude. So, it doesn't really matter. So, but that's the only thing that's, whoops, I put in that there. Crude goes up here. change it back because this is my crude sheet. So in this case, I'm going to do 3 trades, and these are the full contracts. So it's $10 a tick instead of a micro, which would be $1 a tick. I average 3 trades of this a day, and 2 of them are usually winners, one's a loser. And let's say you go, you get 20 ticks on one contract because they're the full contract, okay? And then your losers are 10, so you're at a 2-to-1. Well, that works out to be on one day is $287, and that works out to $67,000 a year, and that's on one full contract. So you can see if you go to 5, now you're at $337,000. You can see how a full contract, because it's 10 contracts, trading 3 trades a day, making 20 on a winner and 10 on a loss, you get $675,000. So if you can trade crude pretty good, and get that kind of ratio, I mean, that's $1.3 million on a 1 lot if you do 20 and 10. So let's go to say I do, 3 trades here with 2 losses, so 60%, and my losses are 15 points. So again, this can help you decide like all in, all out kind of thing, because here I'm at 60%. I'm looking for 20 ticks, points are the same, or 15 on a loser. And with 20 contracts, that's 1.3 million still, okay? If you go all in and all out, or say, it's almost like saying 50-50. If I go up 20 points or down 20 points, but I can pick a pretty good entry, I mean, look at the size of that stop and look at the size of that. If you can just get a little bit better than 50-50 and you have 20 accounts, it's 800 grand, all right? So it gets down to more like, I just need to pick a halfway decent entry and get in the right direction. And if I can make, 20 ticks either direction, or even say 15, and I can show you on ours that we do that easily. But if we bump it down to like, let's say you can actually do 15 points on the winners and 20 ticks on the losers with a 60% win rate. And if you have 20 accounts, it's 136,000 net a year. And you'd think like that would be a loser. If you ask most people, like if I won, just 60% of my trades and I only made 15, but I lost 20, would I make any money, right? Most people would say, no. If you only had one contract, yeah, you're making 7,000 for the year. But you could also say, hey, these signals are pretty consistent. I'm going to do 2 contracts and I can get 10 accounts. Okay. So, I mean, things are more profitable than you think. But anyway, those are what you want to change. You just have to change this, and then you can pretty much change this into any market you want. All right. So if you want to trade, full contracts of the NASDAQ and stuff, then you just need to put in, the full tick value here, and you can change this to that. So play with these sheets. They're critically important as part of like our whole methodology, because it teaches you to learn how to trade properly and take the right amount of risk. And by doing that and gaining confidence in the execution in our methodology, you gain confidence in your own trading because you're not sweating every little bump and niggle in the markets, okay? So you focus on just methodically building this. You can, now I have 3 PAs. Well, and you think, I'm not going to make anything. It's like, yeah, you are. Just stick with it. Then your whole focus is, and you'll see this over and over, that the focus is on executing your plan, following your plan, taking the signals, just executing that, and then the numbers take care of the rest. Most traders have no idea, trading is a numbers game, it's a math game, and ultimately that's what it comes down to. So it might not be exciting as like riding the roller coaster up and down with full giant contracts, but you're not blowing your accounts out. And what should be exciting is when at the end of the week, you're like, no, now I'm at 10 contracts. And now at the end of the week, I've got, at the end of the month, I get $12,000 as opposed to blown out accounts. And this is doing mediocre trading. This is, if I can just improve my entries a little bit instead of losing 20 ticks, maybe I can do, when it goes to 12 points, I move up to break even or just a -5. I go from 15 tick stop to 5 and then find out I barely ever get stopped out that way. You just have to start looking at trades on the screen and you can figure this kind of stuff. Look at like 10 or 15 trades and see like, hey, when this goes in my favor at least 8 points, does it ever come back and go past 0? Well, no, then, you know, that's probably a pretty good sample size. It's small, but, you know, start by moving your stop when it gets to 8 to -5. Well, now anytime it gets stopped out, you're only losing 5. That's going to bring that average down. So let's say instead of 20, now you're at 15. Well, now you're doing 600 grand. Before you were doing 136. So just by improving that by 5 points, you just added $500,000. So that's it. I'm going to get this sewn up so I can get it out to you guys. If not tonight, this is already 10 o'clock. Then tomorrow with everything else, because I got a number of things to send you guys. So I will see you in the trade room by the time you're reading this. Right? And that's it. All right, guys. Thanks. Have a good night. Bye-bye.